Good morning, everyone. Carmela, thank you so much. Well, a few weeks ago, we were going to talk, and technology got the best of, I'll say, me and Facebook. So here we are, and thank you
Here
so
we
much
are.
for finding time again. Because I enjoyed our offline conversation so much, and then we went live, and there we were. But Carmelle Jean-Francois.
Francois, you were
Francois. And
just
I
there.
was almost there, but
You were-
I was about to just butcher it because it's just so, I told you, it's just so beautiful, but of course
Thank
I'm going to
you.
butcher it. You are at cFITcoaching.com.
I am.
You are in Queens.
I am.
Because you're a queen.
I'll take it.
You're a motivational speaker, but you have a really interesting backstory. So I'm going to let you share to start the morning on this beautiful Friday. Oh, is it beautiful in New York? I
It
haven't.
is. It's
Okay.
gorgeous out in New York today.
I was just going to say I haven't even checked in with my daughter yet to say, I don't know how that's happened, but to say what's the weather. And it is beautiful here in Michigan too.
Right.
So before we get to cFIT coaching, give me a little background on you.
I'm a little bit all over the place when it comes to the health and fitness, and I think a lot of people can relate. But as a young child, I was a tomboy, so I always wanted to be out and playing, and I knew I had a lot of energy, but my parents didn't have the time or the resources to put me in any type of organized sport.
Mm-hmm.
So I played with the kids in the neighborhood. It was fine. I was fine.
Wait, do you remember playing with kids in the neighborhood? It's because our kids don't do that enough anymore.
How interesting is that, Tari?
Yeah.
The kids don't play in the streets anymore, and we were allowed. Like my mom would be cooking dinner while we were literally in the street playing with the other children in the neighborhood, and that doesn't happen now. Play dates happen now, right?
Right.
Yeah. But I remember that, and it
Mm-hmm.
was fun. It was a good time, and I hope that more kids get to experience that neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, fast forward, and I was always a little bit more on the sporty side and wanting to be physically fit. And I grew up as I have a twin sister, and
Oh,
and my
we didn't
sister
talk
was always,
about that. Oh, okay.
no, we
Yeah.
didn't mention that last time. My sister was always the teeny twin, and I was the fat twin.
Uh,
So yeah, so when I finally and when I finally got into my physical fitness and I lost all weight and I toned up, I was like, wow, it was mind blowing to me because I didn't understand like it was just surreal. I had
mhm.
always wanted to be slim and finally I was, but the whole idea of it still, you know, messed with me in my
Right.
head. And so now there was this fear of reverting back and being a size that I didn't want to be. And I remember the discomfort in my own skin. I remember the discomfort. And to a certain extent, I was still feeling it. So the fear of even going back there and seeing, sorry, it just messed with my head for a long
Yeah.
time. So there was a fine line between fitness for me, wanting to be physically fit and not wanting to be fat and things like that. And mind you, I was never fat, not
Right.
even close. But it was just a comparison. And I think as women, we tend to deal with that comparison a lot more than the guys
Well,
do.
and I think it also is what we do to ourselves in our mind
Oh, yeah.
and how we our self our self-taught and our self-talk is not always kind to ourselves,
We're not kind to ourselves, but
Mhm.
wouldn't you agree that society just has a lot to do with it?
Oh, for
And what's
sure.
plastered on
Men
TV?
are men are allowed to grow old and be stunning and graceful, and women grow old,
That's,
and
yes, yes, yes. And even
and
growing up, I remember seeing the ads on the television and what was considered beautiful. And
mhm.
not only what was considered beautiful was tall and skinny, but it was also European, so
Yeah.
there were a lot of things that I was just like really fighting and battling with myself
Mhm.
about. But when I did come into my fitness, I was an adult and a karate school had opened up in my neighborhood, and I jumped in and with a few of my friends. So now I had that support
I love
system.
that.
We
Yeah.
were exercising, making friends. And then after I achieved my black belt, yay, got my black belt.
What an accomplishment.
It was very much an accomplishment. I think it was the hardest thing that I've ever done in my life.
Yeah.
And just the whole process of it and the sequence of it. But after that, I finally got a job in the real world, and I didn't have time for that anymore. And I actually went almost 10 years, not only not exercising, I wanted nothing to do with exercising. I wanted to stay slim. I come from a family of heavy women, so that wasn't going to happen. Not for me. I feel like I was predisposed to being heavy. And my mother had hypertension. Dad had adult onset diabetes. So I knew that I was headed in the wrong direction, but I didn't care. I did not want to exercise. And if I joined the gym, I was a rock star for about a week, maybe 2.
Right.
And so
and I think that's not uncommon.
That's not uncommon.
We're all like, here we go.
Yeah, so I know all about it. Like, I feel like I'm definitely the typical average person who kind of battles with this stuff and their fitness. But what changed everything around for me was a car accident I was in. It was a pretty serious car accident. I broke myself up pretty badly. I was on my way home one night. I was just too tired to be driving. Fell asleep. I crashed into a pool. And I was around the corner from home. And I remember feeling, if they could just patch me up, I can go home. Let me just go home. And instead, the doctor came to me and said, I need a phone number because we have to operate. And I'm like, well, no, you don't. Just tape me up and send me home. And yeah, it was like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and they had to call my twin sister, who was my roommate, and tell her that I was going in for an emergency operation. My spleen had ruptured. And excuse me, I take that back. They thought my spleen had ruptured, so they had to go in. And I was fine, thank God, because the spleen is a big deal. I had to go do some research. I was like, well, what the heck is the spleen anyway?
Right.
And so, but I did go through a few surgeries. I severed all the tendons in my fingers, and they told me I would never be able to do this again. I said, you haven't met me, by the way, I'm Carmelle.
Yeah. I had to do everything you tell me I can't, but it's scary. And
it was scary.
When you're being told that, it's the amount of things that go through your head, or it's that in itself is life-changing in a split second.
Right. There's a part of us that feels invincible, right? Like this type of stuff happens to other people. Right.
We hear about it. It's what we hear about.
Yeah.
So when you came out of recovery, because you are who you are, what happened to you?
Well, what happened was the doctor sent me home and said, Carmelle, don't skimp out on your calories, because he sees that I'm a woman, and women tend to be like, I'm not going to eat, especially since I'm not moving as much. He says, I need you to take in some calories, help your body heal. And I was just like, okay, he's giving me permission to eat. And that was the first time I had a newfound respect for food. I didn't think about food as nutrition, as fuel. Food was something I took in order to keep me energized and to keep me from starving. But I never thought of it as what the body needs in order to heal. I never had to think of it that way. And as I healed, I started exercising, and nothing crazy.
But did you know, when he said that, did you yourself have to then do your own research? Did you seek help? Did you know what that meant?
I didn't know what that meant. I just knew at the time he was giving me permission to eat. Right. And it was shortly after, because this started, this started me on this path, this journey. They were all so impressed and amazed by how quickly I was healing. And I knew it was the combination of me listening to the doctors. I did everything they told me to do. I was a good student. I was, and a patient.
That's good.
Yes, and so I was even amazed. Now I wasn't 18 or 20. I was about 30 years old. I was a
Right,
grown adult. So it's not I'm still young, don't get me wrong, but I knew that it had a lot more to do than me just healing. I knew that I was helping my body heal in
right,
those two aspects. And as far as did I know what they were saying as far as the nutrition, I was going to learn that much, much later when I started studying
right.
nutrition, its place in our physical fitness. And especially when I started seeing a nutritionist, even as a trainer, I started seeing a nutritionist because I was like, I'm exercising all the time. I train other people, but I don't look the way I want to look. I want to look a little bit more defined. I still want to be a little bit slimmer
Hmm.
based on how much I work out. And she said, "Well, Carmelle, you're not doing so bad." She asked me everything I typically eat. She said, "You're not doing so bad, but you're just eating too much."
Hmm. Okay.
I was eating
And it's
healthy food, but
interesting that
just too
you
much.
say that because I, we all go through well, I eat healthy and I work out. And when I've gone to a nutritionist and my kids have, it really is, there is a method to the madness of it. If you're
Yes.
going to work out like this, you've got to eat like this because your body needs a certain type of fuel in a certain way. And so when people say, God, I work out so much, but I'm not losing, or I eat like, so I don't eat a lot, but I'm not losing. And it's like, no, that's not the method. You can, it's, I do understand eating, less. Your portions need to be less. There is a good science behind that, when you watch your portions. But if you eat less, but work out more, your body is going to adjust to that too. I mean,
Right.
you're going to slow that metabolism or speed it up, and all those things that I rely on people like you to know far more about. But that's where, I always say, when people say that, like, I'm not losing weight, but I'm working out so much, and I'm like, have you talked to someone about it? Like, have you, like my daughter, you and I talked about, she works out a lot, and she'll say, I'm not really losing. I'm like, you're probably not eating enough,
Yeah.
which always sounds
That's a
funny to
thing too.
people. Like, if you work out a lot, you have to eat,
You do. You do. That
you
body
know?
needs, your body needs, you're asking your body to do a lot. So you got to kind
Right,
of say, thank you. Here's your meal. Here's your
right. You
nutrition.
can't starve your body and say, here, starve your body. Um,
Exactly.
Tell me, you spent, the recovery and learning more about your own body and what needed to happen. Was that your sort of, I mean, you were already someone who liked to work out and had the energy, but was that your sort of wake up to say, like, this is where I want to have my passion and help people? Was that
It
where you
was, it
kind of,
was because shortly after, as I was recovering, I ended up on the track running, and I told my doctor I'm running. He says, "Well, how's your foot?" Because I did break my foot. I broke it at the ankle where it was a really bizarre place. They couldn't operate. All they did was put a cast. They said, you're probably going to be feeling pain in this for the rest of your life. And my accident was about 12 years ago, and I still feel it. I still feel it a
you
lot.
did break it, or you did break
I
it, or you
did.
didn't break it?
I did break
So
it.
it's funny that you say that, because I had a sprain once, and the
Mhm.
doctor said to me, I wish it had broke. You're gonna feel this and I don't wear high heels in my
Because
ankle
of it.
for that
Yeah.
reason, because of
Yeah.
it. And I always say, I wish that ankle had broken, because you can't, not
Yeah.
that I'm good without the high heels, but that is one of
That's one
the
of the
the
things that
things that,
happen. Yeah,
yeah.
so everybody was saying, like when I say everybody, I mean the people that I frequently see on a day-to-day basis. Carmel, you've lost so much weight, you look great, and this is shortly after your car accident. What are you doing? And I had no problem with telling people what I was doing, but I did not feel like I was credible enough to tell other people when they would ask me, "Well, what should I do to lose weight?" I didn't
Mm,
feel like I knew enough, so I went and I studied personal training, and simply because I liked giving information. I felt like people
Yeah.
listened to me when I spoke, and people were really curious and they wanted to know. And I felt like I wanted to share the information. And then I found also that the fitness, uh, when I got my certification, I ended up teaching, being a personal trainer at a personal training studio. And people were asking me about nutrition now. And I was just like, I like to lift weights. I don't want to talk about food. Because my food, even though I understood and respected where nutrition was in my life, I
Uh-huh.
still wasn't there. I still wanted to eat my McDonald's. I
Yeah.
still wanted to eat my cake. So my nutrition wasn't there. I just like, give me a set of weights to pick up and I'll pick them up and I'll work you out.
Right.
But I found that most people, they want to know about nutrition.
Right.
So now I'm studying nutrition, things like that. And that's how it all progressed. And in learning, I'm still learning
Yeah.
things.
Well, that,
And also, as we get on in our years and what even a woman's body goes through,
yeah.
as we age, and learning how to combat its effects, as far as menopause, or my
Hmm.
sister deals with endometriosis and just thyroid. These are the things that I've come across, that I've been doing research on, and see how foods, and even the way we cook, how it all plays a part in that, and how it's all kind of rooted in all the same. The fact that,
For
can I
sure.
say, we just eat shit here in
Well,
like,
we do, and it's amazing. I mean, it's not surprising whenever they come out with statistics about obesity and America. We living in Michigan, we always top the ranks of one of the heaviest state.
yes.
We don't walk anywhere in the state of Michigan. So like I know that. But we've talked about it. It's what you intake, what you expel, basically. How does your business work? Like, how can someone work with you? Like,
Well, I offer personal training because I feel I'm a personal trainer. I was trained in that. And then I didn't do it for a long time because I do also have a 9 to 5 that's in a completely different industry. But when COVID hit, I started doing online support groups.
mm,
And because I feel with nutrition, with fitness and nutrition, there comes a support system that has to be in place. Otherwise, just like I started the gyms and didn't finish, that's most people.
yeah,
And unless you have a support system, unless you have somebody constantly challenging you beside yourself, because you're not going to do it for you, you'll do it for somebody else quicker than you'll do it
yeah,
for you. And unless you have that in place, then you're really not going to get far. So I started an online support group because of COVID, during the time of COVID. And it was quite successful. I didn't work out with anyone. It was just a
mm,
group of women getting together, and we cried about our situations, and we also rejoiced in our successes. And recently I have started to do online virtual classes. So I work with individuals. I work with everybody as an individual. I try to keep each of my classes extremely small so that I'll know everybody's name and background and what you're going to be doing after class and before class, etc. But I do offer personal training classes, and I offer group fitness classes virtually. And that's how you can work with me. And I also continue to do the support group where people could join on. And I don't accept more than 8 to 10 women in a particular group, again, so we could keep it nice and small and
right.
intimate, so that we can keep encouraging each other.
And people can find that at cFITcoaching.com. But I love that, because really you're a story that, um, had a little glitch in the road, I like to say. But really, this pandemic, when you find a silver lining, you have really helped so many people now during this time, because so many people have said, I've gained weight during
Yes, the pandemic.
COVID, and it's because we're sitting around, and the weather in some of our states has been terrible. I think our mindset alone has been poor me, woe's me, and kind of thing. And the truth is that we are going to encounter often things that get in our way in
Mhm.
our road, and we can hurt our bodies, if we don't do something about it or stay
Right.
up with it. And so I think that, you need that good friend, you need a coach, you need somebody who says, hey, did you go for a walk today? What did you eat? And there's really not a nutritionist out there who won't say, write down what you eat,
Right.
look
Mhm.
at what you're eating. Are you eating? Are you exercising? Whether it's whatever age, go for a walk, lift
Mhm.
weights, whatever your capabilities are. But you have to, I think, get on a plan with an expert. Um,
I agree.
so there's a little research I have here that says that to ask you, and it's really fun. My last
Okay.
question is, you have a project that you're working on right now. Was this a COVID started project or before COVID?
If you're talking about the book,
I
this was,
am.
yes, this was after COVID. I was referred to somebody who was looking for women to be a part of a collaborative effort to be in this book entitled International Women of Color Who Boss Up. And
I mean, come on. What an amazing title. It got really dark in my office. I'm not sure. Hang on. Ah,
oh, there you go. It
lost our
is,
son in Michigan or something. I love it. Boss up. I mean,
yes.
how fantastic.
It is, and this is one of 4 books that this particular organizer and author has come out with. She started up with Women Who Boss Up, and then kind of branched out, Mothers Who Boss Up, Asian Women Who Boss Up, and then she came to this Women of Color, and because there was such a variety of us in this group, she called it International Women of Color Who Boss Up. It includes the Asian,
That's great.
Latina, Pacific Islanders, etc. So
And when is it supposed to come out,
it's
or?
supposed to come out in July. We're doing like a virtual tour now. We've been featured in certain,
Will
yes,
you
you
will
are
you
part.
will you get them all together and come talk to me? It would be such an honor. I
Oh, that
mean,
would be fantastic.
I
What
know.
can I extend that invitation to the group?
Anytime I will make it, I will stop whatever I'm doing. I would love to talk to you all. I mean, what an honor it would be.
Oh my
Absolutely.
God. I love
Yeah.
that. Thank you. I'm going to extend it to them and tell them
What an
about
honor.
all about it today.
Yeah. What is that?
Yes.
I mean, anything. I think this is, I mean, that's why I'm ending on this, but this project, but I know you and I talked about it offline, and it's so impressive. And I think anytime women get together
Yes.
and build each other up, it better and bigger things happen.
Yes.
There's nothing more empowering when women get together. I don't know, shame on you men for not figuring that out yet, but I'm not going to help. I don't know that I'm helping you out there, but I love it. Who is the creator behind this?
Tam Luke.
Okay.
Tam Luke. I wish
I love
I think you could find her at tamdeluc.com,
mhm.
TAMDELUC. I hope, or Tam DeLuca.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, you have to connect me. I know we're talking
oh,
business here, but I mean, I'm so excited that you're so deserving to be a part of this project, because you
thank you.
really, you know, to it's to really understand your body and to know what you need, but then to share it and to inspire people, and then to take that business and grow it during a pandemic. And yes, you do have a 9 to 5. You have a whole different career going
I
on as well.
do.
So you're one of those, super women who, like, I don't know when you sleep.
Oh, sleep is all part of health, right? So
Right.
like just pretty recently, I've made it a point to get to bed at a certain hour.
I try, but I don't,
It's not
like,
easy.
it's not easy. And even last night, I thought I slept well, but I was at Pilates today and we were laughing because I kept yawning. And I'm like, that's not a really good sign that you're at Pilates and you're trying to get going and it's Friday morning. And I'm like, God, why am I so tired today? I thought I actually slept last night, but it's true. Like, and there's not a study out there that doesn't say you need
Oh
your
yeah.
sleep. And
Yeah.
I think women are, I will say very, very confidently, I have yet to meet a woman who says, "Oh, I sleep great and I get my sleep that I need." I'm like, because I really want to meet her.
Yeah, seriously. You
I
know,
want,
she's probably 9 years old. Like, yeah, I don't know any woman. I'm not saying that I get the 7 to 8 recommended hours, but I know at a certain time of the night, I just say, whatever didn't get done, guess what? If somebody doesn't die, then
I
it's not an
know.
emergency.
I know I have to learn that. And
Yeah.
I also have to learn, like my husband says, stop reading your phone. And the thing is that sometimes I do, like, that's my, like, it's not, you know, downtime, but it's just the catching up on the phone time.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
but it's not downtime. And so therefore it's not settling in time either.
Yeah, and I know there are studies out there, not to take any more time, but there's studies out there that, the phone has become an extension of our hands. This
Oh,
is
it's,
something now we do,
yeah.
and it's taken up all kinds of extra downtime, and it's
And
become like we kind of tell ourselves, "Oh no, I need my games," or "Oh no, I need to check my
yeah,
email to
so
calm me,"
I,
but it's
I
not
will
really the
say
case.
that I am happily, like, there's certain things, like I don't game.
Mhm.
I won't do that.
Okay.
And I want to say to kids out there, don't start doing that, because one day in life you're going to be doing so many other things,
Yeah.
with your phones. But
It's going to be a lot more, but this is all they know. At least
yeah,
I didn't grow up on a cell phone. Cell phones came while I was still an adult. So,
of
but the
course.
children, this is all they know. So it's
Right.
kind of like, you want me to do what? You want me to what? Put down my phone?
So
What?
I will end on this, because I'm going to have you come back for sure. Do you use apps at all with
I
your
do
program? Yeah. So it's
a ton of
very,
them.
yeah. So it's really interesting because um, it's one of the things that we now do. I do
Yes.
it in my business. I use apps. And so, it's that double thing where we say, put the phone down, but then we use all these apps. So
Yes.
I'm telling you, we could talk forever. I know that you have a busy day. I absolutely want all of you women to come on. I will probably just sit and be in awe and listen to you. I'll have a few questions, but I would love it. Let's, I will connect with you offline about
Okay.
that, and we'll find a time that works for everyone, and be able to share that
Oh, I love that.
with
Thank you.
the audience. Um, I hope to see you in New York very soon.
Let me
I,
know.
I'm coming. But I'm so glad I got you back as quick as we did. And technology is technology,
That's
but
it.
let's stay in touch, and I will see you soon. Have a blessed day.
You
Thank you for
too. Thank you
sharing.
so much, Sari. Thank
All
you.
right. I'll see you soon. All
See you
right.
soon. Bye
Bye-bye.
bye.